Hi guys, good morning slash good night. Welcome to the live stream. Let me know if the audio is fine, etc. And today we are going to discuss a section called Praise of Shiva in the Brahma Purana, translated by Bibek Debroy. And before that, let me just point out two funny things. Firstly, on 9th of this month, I think, I saw that yesterday Ajit Bharti covered it. That's why I came to know, because I had given up on this topic so much that I didn't even bother to keep up with the news. What I was saying, what all of us were discussing out of our common sense, Calcutta High Court ended up agreeing with that. Did you all see? On because the report from Swarajya magazine, whose screenshot was posted by Ajit Bharti, that report showed it was done on 10th April. So the verdict must have come out on 9th April. So what Calcutta High Court said is that ये provocation रामनवमी में provocation हुआ. How can you say that? Because there was so much of stones stacked up on the terrace. If there is a provocation, this is, I'm paraphrasing Calcutta High Court right now. If there is a provocation, then there will be an altercation right there. No one can collect stones for 12-15 minutes, then go up to the terrace, then throw the stones back at them. And इतना stones, वो नीचे प्रोवोक हो रहा था आदमी, तब बैठ के प्रोवोक होते होते ही हाँ बोल जो बोलना है, मैं यहाँ पत्थर उठाता हूँ, ऐसे होता है प्रोवोकेशन होगा, नीचे मारामारी हो जाएगा. ऐसा कैसा अजीब प्रोवोकेशन है जिसके वजह से लोग आराम से सब मिलके अच्छा हाँ प्रोवोक करते रहो, हम थोड़ा पत्थर उठाते हैं. ऐसे पूरा का पूरा नेबरहुड में, बिहार में, गुजरात में, कोलकाता में, हावड़ा में, जहाँ वहाँ सब जगह पे मिलके यूनाइटेड बन के रामनवमी वाले प्रोवोक भी कर रहे थे, और ये सब लोग यूनाइटेड बन के सिर्फ पत्थर उठा रहे थे. और 12 मिनट 15 मिनट आधा घंटा पत्थर उठाया, फिर टेरेस में गया, फिर जाके मारना शुरू किया क्योंकि प्रोवोक हो गया था. तो कलकत्ता हाई कोर्ट हैज सेड दैट what kind of a provocation is this? This was obviously pre-planned. Okay, now finally Calcutta High Court and us free thinkers and people with common sense are on the same level of thinking finally. And obviously Mamta does not care about this, but at least Calcutta High Court ended up saying this. And another thing was that the hilarious debate we've been having in our community tab that about Sanjay Dikshit. So some are very, very angry with him that he is too extreme, and some are very angry with him because he is too soft. No one is okay. A few of them did say that yeah, we have some disagreements, but yeah, he's an important voice. But most people I saw were either too angry with him for being too soft or too angry with him for being too extreme. That is very unfair, I think. But one specific line of argument against Sanjay Dikshit I want to address here is that people said that he was not a right-winger or Hindutvadi or a BJP supporter even before 2014, which shows that he might have become a BJP supporter after 2014 because of, or a Hindutvadi because of personal gains, for hopes of his wife getting a BJP party ticket somehow. All sorts of those allegations. Now, a lot of people did become Hindutvadis after 2014, and how do you know that his Hindutvad happened exactly at 2014 and not a gradual evolution from 2012, 13, etc. But he started the Jaipur Dialogues show in 2018 hardly, and it mainly got on as a YouTube channel after the Corona pandemic. So, but the main line of argument in that case is that why was he not a Hindutvadi from the day he was born? And secondly, what has he actually done? Because right now the main credit I'm being said is that it goes to RSS for doing the countless amounts of groundwork they have done for all these years, especially in a viciously antagonistic place like the Indian Northeast for Hindus. That's where RSS has done the groundwork. Okay, that may be a legitimate argument in theory, but here's why that argument is wrong. If Sanjay Dikshit is not important and if RSS is only important, then nobody is important. Sanjeev Sanyal, J. Sai Deepak, Sitaram Goel, none of them have ever done groundwork. If you are saying that you don't need intellectuals and discourse creators, you only need groundwork, okay? Or you only need Sangathan above everything, then you are wrong, because historically you are wrong. क्योंकि संगठन तो बाकी देश में था, बाकी देश में सारे के सारे लोग हिंदुत्ववादी थे, बंगाल में सारे लोग हिंदुत्ववादी है, ओके, हिंदुत्ववादी नहीं, हिंदू है, डिवाउट हिंदूज हैं. तो पूरे देश में जब मैक्सिमम लोग अप अंटिल आवर प्रीवियस जनरेशन वर डिवाउट हिंदूज and you couldn't get them to vote for BJP, you couldn't get them to understand the Hindutva point of view. Even in Bengal today, you are not being able to get the majority of Hindus to vote for BJP. What are you going to do without discourse creators? And what are you going to do without people who converted their ideology or evolved their ideology? Some are saying that Sanjay Dixit was a beefeater, so now he is unacceptable. That's the argument you are going to use then in case of Ghar Wapsi as well. So no one is going to do Ghar Wapsi. So that's a hilarious argument. And if you think that only ground level work is sacrosanct, no discourse is important, intellectuals are not important, then I would have to obviously criticize RSS that तो बंगाल में क्या किया, नॉर्थ ईस्ट में तो क्रिश्चियंस को ही समझा दिया क्या सी हिंदुइज्म इज सो नाइस. बंगाल में जो कि घर घर में राम पूजा हो रहा है, दुर्गा पूजा हो रहा है, उनको समझा नहीं पाया. So then I'll have to point out the stark disastrous failure of RSS in that case. Or we can just agree that RSS was successful in some places, Sanjay Dixit is successful in some places, Jai Sai Deepak is successful in some places, Sanjeev Sarnyal was successful for me. You either need all of these people in your arsenal, you have to use all your guns, all your ammunition, or you can just play with your favorite one particular gun in the war and go get yourself killed. Okay, don't be so ungrateful. Let me check some comments. Har Har Mahadev. Yes, Har Har Mahadev today. We are going to discuss praise of Shiva. Rakesh Vlogs, Ram Ram, Ram Ram. Praful Bharat is saying Namaste, Namaste. Har Har Mahadev, Jai Mahakal. Yes, Jai Mahakal से याद आया, वो महाकाल कॉरिडोर जो बना है उज्जैन में, उसका जो डोनेशन आएगा, जो भक्त लोग जो देंगे, उससे तो रास्ता बनाने का प्लान ऑलरेडी शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने बना दिया है. उसका पूरा का पूरा तुम लोग जो भक्त के तौर पे डोनेट करोगे, वो सब रास्ते पे चला जाएगा, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बिल्डिंग में. Rohan Shatra, yeah, true, I've seen the news today, yes. Harshavi is saying, recently Shiv Purana by Bibek Debroy has been published as well. Oh, I see. Nice, I'll have to buy that. Efin is saying, bro, Gorgo Chatterjee was doing some live stream on YouTube. The moment I commented on civilizational issue, then he ended the live stream, lol. Abhay Agarwal, Jai Shri Ram, Har Har Mahadev, yes, Jai Shri Ram. Solanam, I long time no see. I just saw a comment elsewhere by a leftist Bengali where he blamed North Indians BJP and said that Rama wasn't a part of Bengal's religious landscape. Okay, that's hilariously wrong, because why else would Krittibash Ojha write a Ramayan? Okay, about 300 400 years back, and that the manuscript of that Ramayan written by Krittibash Ojha is in Paris. Okay, in the Louvre Museum. उसका सिर्फ जेरोक्स कॉपी है कृतिबास ओझा के अपने गांव में. एंड ऑल्सो द वेरी फर्स्ट प्रिंटिंग प्रेस इन वेस्ट बंगाल, I mean in Bengal, in the entire Bongo region, okay, Bangladesh, West Bengal, the greater Bangladesh, okay, the first printing press in that region, do you know what they printed? Krittibash Ojha's Ramayan, okay. Ram is never an outsider. The way we worship in Bengal, Ram, that is different. That's a very sober, nice atmosphere. It's kind of like a Buddhist monastery. The way Ram Navami was being done inside the Belur monastery as well. Because I may as well conclude that it's because of the Islamic invasions. People were so afraid to celebrate it proudly that they went inside the house, lit up some incense sticks, played some nice ambient music, and did chalo hum puja karte hain. Ram is a Kshatriya, is a warrior. Warrior का पूजा वैसे नहीं होना चाहिए according to me personally. And as far as outsider is concerned, if someone is now bringing on the idea of celebrating Ram particularly this way, you'll have to accept it as your love for multiculturalism. ठीक है, पूरा सुबह से शाम multiculturalism मरवाते हो जो, now do that. Accept this kind of worshipping for Ram as well. Okay, if that is outsider, then everything is outsider. Islam is outsider, Karl Marx is outsider, Rabindranath Tagore's family is outsider. They came from UP hardly 200 years back or 250 years back. Outsider का कोई definition नहीं है इंडिया में. And all of your people who are saying those things, all of you are outsider in Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, जहाँ पे चाटने जाना होगा क्योंकि वेस्ट बंगाल को गड्ढे में भेज दिया तुम लोगों ने. Okay. Afin, it's okay to become a Hindutva person post Modi as long as we continue the fight for our homeland and sacred geography and expand our demographics. These are our only goal. Yes. Solanam, Har Har Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev. Flirty Ghoshi and Pallavi Ghosh couldn't even stop laughing. Rohan Shatra. Yes. I saw Abhay Agarwal's comments there. Yes. I saw that live stream a little bit. I saw Abhay was online over there. Solanam is saying, I became a Hindutvadi sometime in mid 2017 and it wasn't for material gains. In fact, my being Hindutvadi is the reason I dislike the corrupt BJP. Yeah, fair enough. Rohan Shatra is saying, Dada, RSS never reached out to us Bengali Hindus. Yes. पूरा दिन RSS groundwork. वाह हा हा. बंगाल में कुछ नहीं किया. तो अरे हर्षा, what to do when a feminist accuse Hinduism of patriarchy? I have an answer. No. See, there are different answers to this. पेट्रियार्की है कि नहीं, दैट इज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल डिबेटेबल. ओके, आई वुड से ऑल ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी में जिसको पेट्रियार्की बोला जाता है, दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ अ जनरल कोऑपरेशन बिटवीन द टू जेंडर्स. एंड आफ्टर ऑल फिजिकल माइट वॉज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट, देयरफॉर मेन हैड द मोर इंपॉर्टेंट स्टैचर एंड पोजिशन इन सोसाइटी. ओके, ये जो वोल्टेयर का कोट है जो कि स्पाइडरमैन को दिया जाता है कि विद ग्रेट पावर्स कम्स ग्रेट रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, दैट्स एक्चुअली द रॉन्ग वे ऑफ लुकिंग एट इट. एक्चुअली विद ग्रेट रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज कम ग्रेट पावर्स. दैट्स हाउ सोसाइटी ऑपरेट्स. Otherwise, why would the entire world be united against women? Okay, ऐसा क्या हो गया? Is even God against women? Nature is against women. Why was there a united association of men in the world के चलो हम सब मिल के women को oppress करते हैं? ऐसा कैसा मैजिकल पेट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी बन गया कि हर जगह में women oppressed हो गया और हर जगह में men का एकदम मजा चल रहा था? That I don't think happened. If at all there is something specifically patriarchal about Hinduism, then you could say it's the least. Because in other societies, in other religions, that's even more. Okay, so there's no question of addressing this problem about patriarchy in Hindu society. Where wasn't there patriarchy? If Hinduism specifically had patriarchy, okay, their three most common accusations is about sati pratha, caste system, and the devdasi system. Okay, all three of them have been practiced everywhere. Okay, look at the movie Troy. Okay, Brad Pitt वाला, where Brad Pitt plays the role of Achilles. वहाँ पे who does Brad Pitt end up sleeping with? That girl is a servant of Apollo. तो ये क्या RSS प्रोपागेंडा का मूवी था? Servant of Apollo और देवदासी में क्या डिफरेंस है? Okay, everywhere the temple servants used to be a woman. That was their honor. Like that song Sojugada Suju Mallige. That's about a woman crying and stressing about finding the flowers to worship Shiva. तो what's the problem in that? Okay, देवदासी सिस्टम के अंदर कोई पुरोहित जाके रेप कर दिया था, इसके वजह से वो सिस्टम स्पेसिफिकली हिंदू बन गया और स्पेसिफिकली इवल बन गया. What kind of logic is that? Everyone used to be feel honored to be Apollo's servant as well. And caste system. Professor Shatonikpal's research is on point here. Caste system is nothing but a status group. Okay, कहाँ इवन मोनार्की, आज भी तो मोनार्की है ना यूएई सऊदी अरेबिया में ये भी एंडोगामी नहीं है और कास्ट सिस्टम नहीं है, तो क्या है? राजा का बेटा के अलावा कोई भी राजा नहीं बनेगा. इट्स ऑल अबाउट स्टेटस. एवरीवेयर स्टेटस, सेम स्टेटस के लोग ही सेम स्टेटस से लोगों से मिलते थे. द प्रॉब्लम विथ कास्ट सिस्टम, व्हाट वी आर मेकिंग द मिस्टेक आई थिंक इज दैट a lot of people are going around saying that, yeah, see, the word caste was thrust on us, therefore it's a British construct and there was no casteism. No, there was statusism. Okay, but the problem with the word thrusting of the word caste on us was that it became something specifically Indian. That's the screw up, that's the evil thing that the British did. Okay, not that we did not do casteism. The impression that the world has is that the Indian casteism is something very specific to India and Hindus. That's the problem. That happened because of the word caste. Otherwise, it's just a status. Everywhere else, do you think there was huge social mobility in Europe in the medieval times, or in Europe, or in Latin America? Everywhere the nobility was the cream of the crop. Everywhere, you become rich or you become highly educated, you become the high status of that society. Even today, like I keep giving the example, Virat Kohli won't marry any of your sisters. He will marry Anushka Sharma only. That's a status group. That's the same as the caste system as yesteryears. सिर्फ नाम कास्ट दे दिया, इसलिए बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो गया. And thirdly, सती प्रथा. Witch burning, bro. Witch burning के लिए अगर हम आज के क्रिश्चियंस को नहीं ब्लेम कर सकते हैं, then you can't blame any Hindu for सती प्रथा. Okay, and if you can't blame a devout Christian today for being a devout Christian, even though his ancestors did sati pratha, witch burning, then you can't blame any devout Hindu today for being a devout Hindu just because his ancestors, some of them, a fraction of a minority did sati pratha in some regions, mainly in Rajasthan. You can't blame the entire Hindu society for that. All three of their allegations against Hindu society is absolutely bogus. Okay, let's see some more comments. Harsha, what to do? Okay, I just say I am Shakta, end of argument. Yeah. Then actually, if you just say that you are Shakta and end of argument, then they will say that, oh, you see, you worship goddesses, then you go and rape women. That will be their argument. If one is saying, lol, then why was Swami Vivekananda Guru Mane Ramakrishna? His Ram wife Ram was never part of Bengal. And bro, call it Vanga, as that is the name of this region in MB. Yeah, that is true. We need Kshatriyata. Yes. Kshatriyata is the word actually. Shatra. Shatra is Kshatriyata. If one is saying, which live stream are we talking about? They are talking about Advaita Kala stream. Okay. Minimum 5 children under Kshatriya principle. That is how we survive, unless state machinery can be used to do mass homecoming. I agree with you in theory 100%, but I just hope you are able to walk the talk when you are the age and when you are earning and when you are also giving up all your salary as taxes. Okay, the middle class runs this country. In India's today's whatever progress we are having, whatever GDP we have, that is leading to all the progress, and all that GDP is because of our corporate professionals who do back-breaking work 12 hours a day, almost every day. Okay. And India is insanely ungrateful to them. I personally know these people, so I'm grateful to them. So वो जो 12 घंटे काम कर रहे हैं उनके पैसों से देश चल रहा है. And how are they going to have 5 kids? I have no idea. अभय अग्रवाल सिंह, योगी ने आतिक के बेटे असद को उड़ा दिया. Yes. Solanam, भाई caste system is simply our version of the class system. Yes, it's a status system, which was, is, and will be practiced in all human societies. Yes, of course there will be hierarchies. Even chimpanzees have hierarchy, yes, as proven by Jean Goodall's research, which she wanted to hide. Harsha, do some Kerala session on Kerala matriarchy. No, I don't know about Kerala's matriarchy, and I don't think it's a matriarchal society. It's a matrilineal society. Okay, matriarchal society is actually northeast. Kerala was not matriarchal; it was matrilineal. Ninori Singh, after reading the arguments on your post on Sanjay Dixit, I don't see any solid arguments against him. Just people with vague disagreements with him. Yes, his contribution is a very positive one so far. Yes. If you can argue that for theory that no, only groundwork is relevant, intellectuals को लेकर हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Fine, then be brave enough to say that even Sitaram Goel was absolutely worthless, and so is J. Sai Deepak, because they are not doing any groundwork. Okay, praise of Shiva. Brahma said, the wedding of the infinitely energetic Bhava was completed in this way, because up until the last live stream we discussed that how Parvati and Shiva got married, right? And we basically have to understand that the name Parvati has come from the concept of Parvat, because she is the daughter of a Parvat, Himalayas, Parvateshwar. That's how the word Parvati has come about, apparently. Filled with supreme joy, the gods with Shakra at the forefront bowed down before Maheshwara and praised him in eloquent and excellent words. This is right after their marriage, okay? The gods said, I bow down to Parvatalinga. I bow down to Parvatesha. Okay, Parvatalinga is whose sign is a mountain. Parvatesha is the lord of the mountain. I bow down to Pavana Vega. I bow down to Virupa. I bow down to Ajita. Okay, there are going to be countless names. I'll have to give the references for all names, and then I'll say one name and give one explanation one by one, okay? So I bow down to Pavana Vega. Pavana Vega is one with the speed of the wind. Okay, Pavan Veg. Veg is speed, obviously. Pavan Veg. I bow down to Virupa. Virupa is malformed one, or one with a special form. Okay, basically a disfigured god or something. Virupa, whose roop is distorted. Virupa. I bow down to Ajita. Ajita कौन है? One who cannot be conquered. Okay, जिसके ऊपर जीत नहीं हासिल किया जा सकता. I bow down to Klesha Vinasha, one who destroys hardships, obviously. I bow down to Datre Shubha Sampadam. ये कौन है? The bestower of auspicious fortune. अच्छा. I bow down to Nilashikhanda. Okay, one with a blue tuft, obviously. Yeah, Nilashikhanda. I bow down to Ambikapati. Okay, all of these are names of Lord Shiva only. I bow down to, so all of these are basically adjectives of Lord Shiva, which in turn became in time different names for Lord Shiva as well. I bow down to Ambikapati, Ambika's Lord. I bow down to Pavanarupa, one with the form of the wind. I bow down to Shatarupa, one with 100 forms. I bow down to Bhairava Rupa, obviously, one with a terrible form. Terrible meaning vicious and angry. I bow down to Virupanayana, one with malformed eyes. I bow down to Sahasranetra, one with 1,000 eyes. I bow down to Sahasracharana basically, one with 1,000 feet. I bow down to Devasvarupa, one who takes the form of the gods. I bow down to Vedanga. वेदांगा का मतलब नहीं दिया गया है. I bow down to Vishtambhana Shakrabahu, one who paralyzed Shakra's arms in the form of the infant son on Parvati's lap. Yeah, this was a story that we did in last day's live stream on Brahma Purana. Okay. I bow down to Vedankura, from one whom the Vedas sprout. I bow down to Characharadhipati. Characharadhipati. I can't pronounce this correctly. Lord of the mobile and immobile entities. Characharadhipati. Actually, that's the pronunciation. I bow down to Shamana. Shamana kaun hai? One who subdues. I bow down to Salilashaya Linga, one whose sign is a water body. I bow down to Yuganta, the end of yugas. I bow down to Kapalamala, one who wears a garland of skulls. I bow down to Kapala Sutradhari. Aha, what nice words, man. One who wears a thread of skulls. Kapala Sutradhari. I bow down to Kapala Hasta, one who has a skull in his hand. I bow down to Dandina, one who holds a staff. Danda. I bow down to Gadina, one who holds a mace. Okay, Gada, mace, okay? Like this one right here. I bow down to Trailokyanatha. Yeah, that is a common name, the Lord of the three worlds. I bow down to Pashulokarota, one who is devoted to the world of animals. Acha, Pashulokarota. I bow down to Khatwangahasta. Never heard of this. One who holds a Khatwanga. What is that? A staff, a stick with a skull on top in his hand. Wow. I bow down to Pranatartihara, one who removes the afflictions of those who prostrate themselves. Acha, problems jo hata deta hai if someone does a proper pranam and prostrate pranam. I bow down to Yagyashirahantri. That means the slayer of the head of a sacrifice. A reference to Daksha's sacrifice, which is also a story we discussed in last 2 days live streams of Brahma Purana. It's in the YouTube playlist, you can check it out. I bow down to Krishna Keshahara. Yeah, this name we had discussed. One who takes away black hair. Krishna Keshahara. I bow down to Bhaganetra Nipata. What does this mean? One who plucked out Bhaga's eyes at the time of Daksha's sacrifice. I bow down to Pushadantahara. Let's see. One who knocked out Pusha's teeth at the time of Daksha's sacrifice. I bow down to Pinaka Shula Asikhadga Mudgara Dharina. This means one who wields Pinaka, a trident, a sword, a broadsword, and a club. This is the beauty of the Sanskrit language. There are basically endless words in Sanskrit. Okay, there are no limitations of words because you can add up any number of things and make up a word. So a gigantic word here. Pinaka Shula Asikhadga Mudgara Dharina. सब कुछ एक word में समझा दिया. I bow down to Kala Kala or Kala Kala. Let's see, what does this mean? The destroyer of death. When Markandeya was about to die and Yama came to fetch him, Shiva killed Yama. Yama was revived later. I bow down to Tritiya Nayana. Third eye, obviously. One with a third eye, yeah. And mysteriously, third eye. Where do we have our third eye? Here. And what else is here? Our wisdom creating part of the brain, okay, which is formed only at the age of 25, and somehow our ancestors and rishis realized this. Naam kya hai uska? I forgot. This section of the brain, the frontal section of the brain, I forgot. Okay, but anyway, that's your decision making part of your brain, which isn't formed until 25. I bow down to Daityanam Yoganasha. Acha. Who is Daityanam Yoganasha? One who destroys the yoga of Daityas. Acha. I bow down to Antakantakriti. ये कौन है? 740. Okay. One who brought an end to death. Death को ही मार दिया. Antakantakriti. All these are adjectives for Lord Shiva. Okay. I bow down to Parvata Vasina. This is one who resides on a mountain. Okay. पर्वत में वास करता है. I bow down to Suvarna Ritasa. This is one with a golden seed. I bow down to Kundala Dharina, one who wears earrings. I bow down to Daityanam Yoganashaya. I bow down to the yogi. I bow down to the guru. I bow down to the Shashankaditya Netra. Okay. One with the sun and moon as eyes. I bow down to Lalata Netra. Okay, one with an eye on the forehead. I bow down to Shmashanarata. 747. One devoted to cremation grounds. Acha, Shamshan, acha. Shmashanarata. I bow down to Avinitanasha. One who destroys the insolent. I bow down to Vyamshakaya. One with a bare body. I bow down to Ashani Shatahasa. This means one whose laughter is like 100 lightning flashes. Ashani Shatahasa. Okay, Shatahasa. Ashani Shatahasa. I bow down to Parvatesha. This is repetition. I bow down to Grihastha Sadhu. Grihastha Sadhu, the virtuous householder. I bow down to Nitya Jatina. One with perpetual matted hair. Jata hair. Wo. Nitya Jatina. I bow down to Brahmachari. I bow down to Mundardhamunda. 754. One with half of the head shaved. Mundardhamunda. I bow down to Pashupati, Lord of Animals. I bow down to Salilya Tapyamana, one who performs austerities in the water. Yeah, Salil is water. Tapyamana, performing austerities. I bow down to Yogaishwarya Prada, one who grants the prosperity of yoga. I bow down to Shanta, the tranquil one. Okay, let's check some comments now. Okay, then do a session on Northeast matriarchy. I have not read enough about that. I just know there is a matriarchal society there. Efin is saying, to be honest, I don't really care about engineering, medical and lawyer. If my son wants to start some business, even like a carpenter or plumber shop, and is capable of continuing a family, I would be proud. Good. Here we look down on these in the West. They are respected, so I would be okay. Have learned that only starting a family with 3 minimum and ideally 4 to 5 is best, as we also complete our rins to mom, dad and Rishi. Okay, it's respected in the West for a different reason. Okay, because West में सबको बहुत काम करके अर्न करना पड़ता है, उनको उतना freebies नहीं मिलता है, which is why they respect every profession. If you go to any martial arts gym, you will see a truck driver, a construction worker training with Joe Rogan, or a celebrity, or singers, Hollywood actors, all trained together. ये जिंदगी में कभी नहीं होगा. For example, Metallica, the greatest and the biggest, most popular, most richest metal band of all time, उसका vocalist truck driver है. इंडिया में कोई ट्रक ड्राइवर का बेटा आज तक कुछ उखाड़ नहीं पाया इंडिया में. ठीक है, वी हैव अ वेरी स्क्यूड सेंस ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर नॉट एबल टू गिव रेस्पेक्ट, प्रॉपर रेस्पेक्ट टू एवरीवन, एंड इट्स नेवर गोइंग टू हैपन अनलेस यू कंप्लीटली एलिमिनेट ऑल रिजर्वेशन. इट विल नॉट हैपन. You will never look at a person who you know is getting a lot of freebies out of your taxes, out of your earnings, and you can't have the same amount of respect for that person. You will always look at the person either with sympathy, which is a soft bigotry of low expectations, which is like saying that आहा बेटा तुमसे ना हो पाएगा, तुमको रिजर्वेशन ही नहीं चाहिए, नहीं तो तुम मूर्ख रह जाओगे. और यू विल थिंक दैट तू तो मेरे पैसे से चल रहा है, भाग यहाँ से. That's the attitude that's always going to remain, and that's not the attitude in USA, because that's not how they run their society. Okay, let's see some comments. Rohan Shatra is saying, Dada, do a poll about who is the best Indic Wing intellectual plus author for Indic Wingers in community post. इसमें जयसाई दीपक जीत जाएगा आराम से, I know, because most of my viewers are fans of जयसाई दीपक. Shankar is saying pineal gland, frontal cortex. Yes, frontal cortex. Neener, my back will hurt after bowing down so much. Do stretchings. Shankar, yes, frontal cortex, yes. Prefrontal cortex, actually, not frontal cortex. Harsh is saying, Neener, चरणों में लेट जाओ फिर साष्टांग दंडवत प्रणाम क्या करो. Okay. Arti saying, Salil means water, then what does Jal stand for? Both are water. Salil Samadhi means someone drowning in water. No, we have different beautiful names for all sorts of words. Maybe different times, different situations. See, like Jal is anytime you are using a, let's say even if you're drinking water out of a cup. In that case, it will be called Jal. In that case, it won't be called that you have a Salil inside your cup. Okay, Salil is mainly when it's a large water body of water, but it is definitely is water. Jal is the material inside that water body, and Salil is basically a huge water body filled with water. Prefrontal cortex, yes. Okay, let's continue with the adjectives for Lord Shiva. Okay. I bow down to Danta, 759, the self-controlled one. I bow down to Pralayotpatti Karina. Okay, Pralay Utpatti jo karta hai pralay ka, I guess. Pralayotpatti Karina. Let's see. The cause behind creation and destruction. Pralayotpatti Karina. I bow down to Anugraha Kartri, one who shows favors. I bow down to Sthiti Kartri, one who ensures preservation. Sthiti karta hai. I bow down to Rudra. I bow down to Vasu. I bow down to Aditya. I bow down to the Ashwins, Ashwingan. I bow down to Pitri, the father. I bow down to Samkhya. I bow down to Vishwadeva. I bow down to Sharva. Sharva is the one who kills. I bow down to Ugra, the fierce one. I bow down to Shiva, the auspicious one. Shiva literally means the auspicious one. I bow down to Varada, the one who bestows boons. And a king of boons is obviously Varadarajan. I bow down to Bhima, the terrible one. I bow down to Senani, the commander. Yeah, Senani. I bow down to Pashupati. It's a repetition. I bow down to Shuchi, the pure one. All this is a gigantic, beautiful mantra. Can you imagine what it's like to actually read this out in Sanskrit? The person is just going to go on pronouncing all these names one after the other. And I think I bow down to uska Sanskrit kya hoga? Namastute, probably, right? So they are going to say Senani Namastute, I guess. I bow down to Senani. I bow down to Pashupati. I bow down to Shuchi. I bow down to Varihana. What is this? The destroyer of enemies. I bow down to Sadyojata. Okay, the one who has just been born. So many of these words are still used in Bengali. I don't know about people outside Bengal. We use these exact same words even in today's common parlance in Bengali. And Gorgo Chatterjee people like them want to involve jais and all sorts of Arabic words in Bengali. Hidayat, jais, Shoddo Jato. That's what we pronounce in Bengali. I bow down to Mahadeva, the great god. I bow down to Chitra, the wonderful one. I bow down to Shulina, the one with a trident. I bow down to Pradhana. I bow down to Aprameya, the immeasurable one. I bow down to Karya, the effect. I bow down to Karana, the cause. I bow down to Purusha. I bow down to Purushichakara. What is this? One who acts in accordance with the wishes of Purusha. Acha, Purushka Icha. I bow down to Purushichakara. I bow down to Purusha Samyoga Pradhana Guna Karina. Let's see. Purusha Samyoga. Okay, I don't know Samyoga meaning, so I'll have to take the translation. One who brings about union between Purusha and the gunas of Pradhana. Aha. Purusha Samyoga Pradhana Guna Karina. What beautiful words. I bow down to Parvataka Prakrite Purushasya. Okay. Pravartaka Prakrite Purushasya Sarvasha. This is one who makes Purusha and Prakriti act in every way. Pravartaka Prakrite Purushasya Sarvasha. I bow down to that. I bow down to Kritakrita Samkartri. What is this? One who derives everything that is done and everything that is not done. One who drives everything. Okay. So the initial cause, the supreme consciousness, Brahman, Brahmanaspati, Prajapati, or dark matter in terms of theoretical physics, everything. One who drives everything that is done and everything that is not done. This is why the Hindu concept of God is the most scientific one. Okay. Wait. Krita Samakartri. Okay. Then I bow down to Phalasamyogada. Phalasamyogada. Let's see what this is. One who unites with the fruit. Okay. Phalasamyogada. Phal. I bow down to Kalagya. One who knows about time. Okay. Agya means knowing about things. In Bengali we would say Kalaggo. Yeah. That's why one who knows about all three kalas is called Trikalaggo in Bengali. Aggo means knowing things. Kal is time. Bengali has preserved Sanskrit to such a beautiful extent. And because of Bengali scholars who are commies, the new generation of commies are deliberately anti-Hindu and anti everything related to Hinduism. I bow down to Sarvesham Niyama Karina. Okay, what's this? One who makes the rules for everyone. I bow down to Vishamya Kartri Gunanam. What is this? One who causes disequilibrium in the gunas. Vishamya Kartri Gunanam. I bow down to Vrittida. 788. One who grants subsistence. Vrittida. Vritti deta hai jo. I bow down to Deva Devesha. The Lord of the Lords of the Gods. Deva Devesha. I bow down to Bhuta Bhavana. Obviously someone who thinks about past probably. Let's see if I'm right. The creator of beings. Okay, I was wrong. Bhuta Bhavana is creator of beings. I wonder why. By what logic? Bhuta Bhavana, the creator of beings. I don't know. I'll have to ask Bibek Debroy someday, hopefully, if I meet him in a literature fest. Oh Shiva, glance towards us. Is there anyone who is fluent in Sanskrit? Or a Sanskritist, or who has done graduation or masters in Sanskrit? Can you tell us, why would Bhuta Bhavana be translated as creator of beings and not someone who thinks about the past? Bhuta meaning past, Bhavana meaning thinking. Oh Shiva, glance towards us with an amiable face. O Lord, be pleasant towards us. In this way, the illustrious God, the Lord of the universe, Uma's consort, was praised by all the gods. He spoke to the immortals in these words. Rudra said, O gods, so far as gods are concerned, I have a fanged face, as well as a pleasant face. So I have a vicious, angry face and a pleasant face. Tell me the boons that you wish for. There is no doubt that I will grant them. At this, all the gods prostrated themselves and told the three-eyed one, O illustrious one, let this be the boon you grant. Whenever there is a task that needs to be done for us, you will grant us the desired boon. Agreeing to this, Hara granted the gods and the others leave. Along with the Pramathas kaun hai? Those who strike, being used as a synonym for Ganas, Shiva's companions. Okay? So, along with the Pramathas, in Bengali it's a common name, Promotho. And Promothonath is also a common Bengali name. Promothonath meaning obviously Shiva then. Along with the Pramathas, he entered his residence. Shiva. In the presence of gods and Brahmanas, if a man chants about this extraordinary festivity of Haras in every possible way, he becomes Ganesha's equal. When his body is destroyed, he obtains happiness. O noble Brahmanas, if a person hears it or reads it, he goes to all the worlds and is worshipped by the gods, the asuras and others. This is where our chapter ends today, and this is where I'll stop the Brahma Purana discussion today, because actually I'm in a hurry. I'll be online 5-10 minutes more to discuss some comments, but other than that, next day we will start Brahma Purana whenever we do it, 2 or 3 days later. The next chapter will be Uma and Shankara leave the Himalayas. Okay, interesting. Such beautiful writing. I bow down to Sanskrit language definitely after reading this. Brahma Purana is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely proving to be worth the money. I got it as a gift from my Marxist girlfriend. Okay, let's check out some comments now. Wait, lots of comments. So check it. Yeah, Abhay saying Jal, Apa, Neer, Paniya, etc. Yeah, all are water. हर्षा, यार हर बार तो न्यूज़ में आता है कि रिक्शे वाले का बेटा आईएएस बन गया, मजदूर का बेटा बन गया. Yes, because of so much of free education and all, but they are not getting any mainstream art and culture success, right? Art and culture is still a privilege of the few. What's your okay? Then Rohan Shastra is saying Gorgo Chatterjee is a clown. We shouldn't give any attention to him. Unless you hijack the Bangla Pokho movement with people who are proud of the Bengali language and its source, the Sanskrit language, it's going to be a tough sell of any right-wing politics in West Bengal. Let me tell you that. Because that's the only movement in Bengal which has cross-partisan support. Okay, even some right-wingers. A lot of right-wingers have, not all, a lot of, some have told me that why aren't you talking about King Pratapaditya? And I keep telling them there's absolutely no historical basis for Pratapaditya. What can I do? Qawmi historians and nationalist historians are saying that he was just a random zamindar. There is no historical basis for claiming him to be a great Bengali king. The only great Bengali king was Shashanka. And today, right now, is the Bengali New Year. So, Happy New Year all people. Shubho Novoborsho. We are starting the new year by the counting of the calendar created by the King Shashanka, who was a Shaivite. What a coincidence. And today we are discussing praise of Lord Shiva. So, see, everything is coming together beautifully. So, yeah, you will have to absolutely hijack that movement. I can't do it because my channel is in English and Hindi. If I just do Bengali videos, I'll have even lesser views. Or I'll get killed. Both are a problem. So let's see. This is why. Yeah, Aniket is asking, what is your view on JSD comment on dowry? I don't know what did he say about dowry. Abhay Agarwal is saying there is no Bengali without its Sanskrit essence. Yes, and then there are Bangladeshi scholars, atheists basically. They are not even Islamic fundamentalists. They are going around saying that we had these Arabic Jais, Hidayat, these words in Bangladesh before Sanskrit Brahmin Pandits forced Sanskrit down the throats of Bengalis. And it's being picked up. And in the same way, the Bangla Pokho argument is being picked up by CPM supporters, Trinamool supporters, Congress supporters, and some BJP supporters, everyone. Because it's a frustrated society, right? They are tired of their state being degraded and being humiliated, and there's no jobs, etc. So they are looking for someone to blame. Now, the only people they can blame is the non-Bengalis. Okay, this is what the majority community does in every country except India. Because if you read Thomas Sowell's books, this will be absolutely clear to you. This is a universal concept. The minority community everywhere in the world is pretty oppressed. By oppressed, I mean that they don't get any special privileges, which is why they have to suffer a little more and work a little harder. And what happens when you work a little harder? You succeed a little better. Okay? And then the majority community gets pissed off. A few days back we were discussing this, that in Southeast Asia, the Chinese are hated by the majority community because they are more successful and more educated and more richer, even though they did not start out that way. In Africa, Indians are hated, Marwadis are hated. Okay? It's only in India where the Hindus are more successful than everyone else, and Jains, etc., because we don't get any special privileges for being the majority community. It's the minority community that gets countless amounts of special privileges, which leads them to not work as hard as they can in education and any profession they are in, which is why they keep being poorer. But that's what's happening in Bengal as well. Now all they are left with is that blame Gujaratis, Marwadis, and Jains for being too rich, and blame the Bihari ground level worker for coming to their state and destroying the state. Yeah, as if you were going to do something with that job otherwise. You were going to close down your Satyajit Ray DVD and go clean the roads as if. Okay. Abhay Agarwal is saying, this is why I keep suggesting Sanskrit as the official link language of India. Absolutely. Sanskrit has to be the official language of India, national language of India, link language of India, everything. Most people can understand Sanskrit. This will preserve the other Indian languages too. Yes, 100%. Also, it is easier to pick up new Indian languages too. Yes, once you understand Sanskrit, you will understand most other languages by default. Abhay Agarwal, Rohan is Garga Chatterjee. Yes. Okay. If anything, start calling them as he knows. If your children are not named like us, shame on you. A Shuddhi should be done and you are not a proper Hindu. Yes. No, Bhoot also means matter like Panchabhuta. I see. Okay. That's why. Nice. Thanks for pointing that out. So Bhuta Bhavna is matter ka bhavna, and therefore who is creating matter is obviously thinking about that as well. Inner is saying actually Bhoot also means pran or life in some contexts in Hindi I have seen. Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, why would ghosts be called Bhoot? Yeah, so Bhoot definitely has different connotations. I thought ghost is called Bhoot because ghost वो past में किसी का spirit है. So all that is mixed up, I guess. So there are different associations with it. If it is saying 5 primordial matter from which the all parts of the physical world is made, right? Hindi and Sanskrit are different. Like linga means different things in Hindi and Sanskrit. Yeah, थोड़ा बहुत different तो होगा. And because different regional प्राकृत, संस्कृत तो संस्कृत है, बाकी सब regional प्राकृत है, मगधी प्राकृत है. Okay, Marx's girlfriend, yes. No, 15th April is Bengali New Year. Oh, अभी 15th April नहीं है ना? Oh, 14th April. So tomorrow. Okay, another day left. Okay, Shubha Navabarsho. Is Alada in Bengali also an Urdu word? If Alada is a Urdu word, then it has come into Bengali from Urdu only. Alada, because it means the same thing. Alada means different. Ghost is more like Pret than Bhoot. Right, actually the Christian concept of Bhoot is not also very relevant and applicable in the Hindu epistemology as well. Pret is more Bhoot, right? And ghost is basically but also they say Holy Ghost, then in that case that just becomes spirit, soul essentially. Okay guys, so if no more comments, I'll go offline now, and tomorrow probably I'll continue with a bit of Brahma Purana, or I'll get to Manusmriti. Let's see what I'll decide tomorrow only. Or I'll put up a poll for this, that what should we discuss tomorrow, okay? Either history of Indian philosophy or Manusmriti or Brahma Puran. Okay, thanks a lot for joining guys. See you tomorrow at 12. 99% sure. Okay. Good night then.